What up, folks? I'm back once again doing another video game review, and I'm reviewing Streets of Rage 2 that was released for the Sega Genesis, and it is, of course, the sequel to the beat 'em up classic Streets of Rage from like a couple of years prior. And pretty much the plot is that the syndicate leader, Mr. X, is plotting a revenge against Axel Stone, Blaze, Fielded, and Adam Hunter because of the fact they defeated him and the syndicate and pretty much got rid of the serious crime wave that was hitting that particular city in the prior game. And Adam's brother, Skate, pretty much went to his house and he found out that Adam's house was ransacked, plus the fact that he found that Adam was missing, and there was pretty much a note or something that indicated that the syndicate and Mr. X was the ones behind the whole thing, and pretty much Skate went to tell Axel and Blaze what happened, so they go out on a mission to save Adam and defeat Mr. X and the syndicate. Now, Skate pretty much recruits his friend Max, and he agrees to go with him and to save Adam. And one thing about Max is that he is like the only pro wrestler in the group. Now, everybody that's a playable character in Streets of Rage 2, pretty much Max, Axel, Skate, and Blaze, all of them have their own fighting style like the last game. Plus, all of them have their own like special moves, which replaced the thing from the first game where someone from a police cruiser pretty much shoots a rocket launcher and clear out and defeat the enemies that's on the screen. Now, Streets of Rage 2 is, of course, a two-player co-op game like the first game, and you can pretty much play with a friend, and you also pretty much fight the same like gang members from the syndicate as from the first game. And it also has 8 stages, but this time around you have to fight like new bosses with Mr. X as the final boss of the game. One thing about the playable characters is that they're like their strengths and speeds are graded once again like the first Streets of Rage game. Like I'll say that Max is the slowest out of this particular group because he's like the strong man. He like the strong man out of the group, and everybody else is like not as strong as Max, but they're like quicker though. And the one thing that did make a return in Streets of Rage 2 is all the weapons and the food that you find for health. You find in like different stuff like trash cans or tires that stacked on each other, for example. And Streets of Rage 2 also has this fighting mode that's pretty much separate from the main story, and that's kind of similar to what is offered in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4 Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo, but it's kind of like that. There's certain things that's not the same though. And now, as far as the graphics and level designs, they're pretty good. The level designs are like pretty nice, but the one thing that stands out to me is the color palettes because of the neon lights and all that. And to me, that makes it better than the first Streets of Rage game. Now, the gameplay to me is probably the best aspect of this particular game because like I think I don't know if it's Sega or Capcom who made the Streets of Rage series, but they pretty much got rid of the of course I mentioned that they got rid of the whole thing where somebody shoots a rocket launcher off the police cruiser and it was replaced by special moves, but it was a good move in my opinion, mainly because this is shooting a rocket launcher out of a police cruiser is something that you didn't see from other beat 'em ups from the time, rather it's from from a beat 'em up game for Super Nintendo or NES, you know. So I'll say it was kind of odd for them to do that in the first Streets of Rage game. Now the soundtrack is pretty decent, but at the same time, it's not as memorable per se as some of the soundtracks you will hear from a Super Nintendo beat 'em up game like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, or Final Fight or something like that. You know, but it's still pretty good nonetheless. And as far as the game, the controls are concerned, the only thing that I do have a complaint about is that it's still kind of clunky, kind of stiff. You know what I'm saying? It's not as fluid as it should be, but it's still the controls are still good nonetheless, and pretty much the if you like the first Streets of Rage game, you're gonna like Streets of Rage 2, and it's a game worth playing, and it's also pretty much a good and worthy sequel to the first Streets of Rage game. And I would recommend it to any gamer who is like a retro gamer or a fan of the beat 'em up genre in general, or somebody who never played the Streets of Rage games but they're still interested. But it's a good game to play. As far as the score is concerned, I'll definitely give it an 8 out of 10 because of the soundtrack and that isn't as good as it should be, and the controls are kind of stiff. But those are relatively minor, in my opinion. With that being said, if you like Streets of Rage 2 for the Genesis, you can mention it in the comment sections whether it's your favorite beat 'em up or not. If you like this review of Streets of Rage 2, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy, Big Metro Fan 12, signing off.